Hello and welcome to the Oracle card reading for Saturday, October 19th with me, Colleen. Today I'm going to be reading from the deck of Oracle cards that I self-published called the Whispers from Within Oracle. Now, I wrote this deck of cards because I really wanted something that was super easy to use and to read. I had enough of trying to interpret cryptic messages or symbology on a lot of tarot cards and oracle cards. So I ended up writing my own, and all of the messages on the card are inspirational and they focus on the current aspects of life rather than to forecast the future or to review the past. So I'm going to start with shuffling this deck of 48 cards. And as I shuffle, I'm just going to ask, what do we need to know today? What do we need to know today as a whole, as a group? I always wait until cards either pop out of the deck on their own, or I watch for cards that start to creep up and out of the deck. One just popped out here, so I will put that aside. I like to stick with 2, maybe 3 cards for each reading. Okay, I see another one here. The first card that came up for us today is called Other People Want to Help You. Now, when I get this card, what it usually means for me personally is that there's somebody out there thinking about helping. And it's usually somebody that we might least expect to help us, but it's always the first person that comes to mind. So it could be somebody in your network that you haven't connected with in a while, or it could be a relative or a friend that you haven't talked to in a while. But even though you guys haven't connected in a while, it doesn't mean that they're not thinking about you. And this could go in reverse as well. There might be somebody that you might want to help in your own way. There might be a job that you heard of that you know the perfect person who would fit that job. Or you might have an opportunity in another area for somebody as well. So it's all about connecting with other people. Another thing that this card says is to release the shame or fear from asking for or accepting help. So if there's somebody out there who is trying to do it all themselves, this is an indicator for you to ask for help from somebody and to not feel guilty about it, basically. So a part of our life's purpose is to help others, but it's also receiving help from others, because when we're receiving help from others, it's allowing the other person who's helping us to fulfill their life purpose as well. So it all interconnects at the end of the day, which I think is really cool when you think about it. Another thing this card says is to meditate on who to ask for help if you're unsure. Okay, so you might be, if you think you might need help with something and you're not sure who to ask, meditation is a really great way to get there in your mind. And what it does is it just kind of, clears your mind and opens up the channels for intuitive messages to come through more easily. If you have thought of somebody initially who might want to help you, usually it's the first person that comes to mind, like I suggested. If you thought, no, it can't be that person, if you notice that it's a recurring thing and that person keeps popping up into your mind, definitely explore that and just trust it, trust what you're getting, and see what happens. It could be a really good opportunity for you to reconnect with somebody, and you just never know what they have waiting in store for you that could help you out. The next card we got is Trapped Emotions. People get this card a lot. There's a lot of people walking around with trapped emotions, and they always reveal themselves in different ways. It could be sleeplessness, it could be anger, sadness. There's a million ways it could come through, usually negative behaviors is how trapped emotions express themselves. So it's really important for us to dive into self-healing with past traumas, or, you know, things that you just maybe have struggled a little bit to let go of. Another really important thing I want to pass along to you out there is that trapped emotions, if they're stuck inside us for too long, they can start to reveal themselves in physical ailments as well. And it's usually those physical ailments where there's really no connection to where they started or how they developed. It could be a random headache that you have, and now it just kind of keeps coming back, and you know, maybe you've gone to the doctor or gotten all this testing done and nobody can figure out where it's coming from. That's a really good example of trapped emotions somewhere in the body. Okay? Another way that trapped emotions can reveal themselves, and in the long term, is diseases and, you know, other things like that. And trust me, you don't want to get to that point. The thing about trapped emotions is we always know intuitively, like we know for ourselves that they're there. When you think of a trapped emotion for yourself, again, it's usually the first thing that comes to mind for yourself. And just trusting that what you are, you know, thinking about is true, and it might be worth diving in a little bit deeper into what that could mean for you. There's some really good resources online that actually interpret the trapped emotions in your body and what it could mean on a spiritual level for you. For example, if you have back pain or elbow pain, or, you know, the list goes on. There's an association for almost anything out there. I mean, some things definitely take with a grain of salt, but it could just be a really good window into discovering what the real cause of your whatever you're experiencing is from in your body. Whatever trapped emotion could be causing it. And another great way to uncover these issues and past traumas, to work through them, is to go and see a professional like a psychologist or a counselor, or maybe even getting some life coaching for yourself as well. Okay, so it's really important that we deal with trapped emotions instead of stuffing them down. It's all about allowing ourselves to feel the emotions, okay? There's so many people out there who, you know, they're busy all the time, and they, you know, you ask them, oh, how's it been? And oh my God, I've just been so busy. But I really truly believe that sometimes when people say that they're so busy, it's because they're avoiding dealing with issues in their lives, or even healing traumas or issues that they've kind of stuffed down. So keeping busy is a really good way for them to like really avoid spending any time alone, and to really, you know, explore what's going on inside so that they can begin to heal themselves. All right, so the last thing that I always do is I check the bottom of the deck. I check that card because I find that it has a lot of value to it as well. And what we have here is Awakening. So this is a really cool card to get because I find that there have been so many people in the last year or 2 years talking about how they've been experiencing this phenomenon where all of a sudden they're just not interested in the things that they were conditioned to be interested in, or that they grew up being interested in. And, you know, they're just sort of trying to sort through these weird, mysterious changes in their lives. And for a lot of people, it's still just a feeling. They know that something's different, but they just can't put their finger on it. They know that they need to make a change. They know that they need to sort of transition in their lives to do something more meaningful, but they just don't know what that thing is yet. So what this card is affirming is that what you're going through is an awakening, and it's really, important to acknowledge that, because when you acknowledge it, you experience all of these awakening symptoms with more fluidity and understanding as well. So awakenings have something to teach everybody, and it's going to be different depending on each person. So one of the things this card talks about is to be open to the changes and possibilities occurring, even if they seem unexplainable. So what this could mean is if somebody's all of a sudden feeling the urge to make a big change in life, whatever that is, because they feel like they just are guided to a different path. Be open to that. It's all about letting go of the old paradigm, the old conditioning that we have that's no longer serving us as a society in whole. And this is happening on a global level, but it's hard for a lot of people to do that because it's getting over these thoughts of, well, what will the neighbors think, or what will so and so think, or my family will reject me, or they'll disown me if I make this choice for myself. So it's overcoming these fears that we have about changes that we know we need to make in our lives. And there's definitely a lot of important factors that play a role in making an important life decision or change. It's doing a lot of research, not making a decision on a whim, taking baby steps, right? So it's all about easing yourself into whatever you're gonna start doing. But if you're having these thoughts and feelings, just know that it's part of that awakening, that global awakening, and you're just part of it. So it's a really beautiful thing. I really see this tying together because I think that through the other people wanting to help you, I feel like there could be some value with a lot of people out there to do more yoga, and even start and continue a meditation practice. And as for the trapped emotions, I think that what that means for us is once we start to deal with the trapped emotions that are kind of holding us back, then it could open us up to meeting new people, or having that open energy for other people to come in and help us in perhaps even our awakenings that are coming up for us right now. So if you would like to book your own intuitive reading with me, please visit the link below. You can check out my website and book through there. And also, if you'd like to purchase your own set of the Whispers from Within Oracle cards that I wrote, you can also do that at the link provided in the description as well. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I want to wish you a really great Saturday, October the 19th. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel here, and I'll hope to see you guys in the next Oracle card reading video.